What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And wow, Kamala Harris got game. This woman brings up the topic of identity politics and hits us with the bait and switch. Redefine the term and the meaning of identity politics. She says, let's talk about identity politics. It makes me mad when people use that term as a negative. Basically, she was saying that when you say people using identity politics, what you're doing, you're saying that you're minimizing these small groups that have legitimate reasons to feel disenfranchised. You're trying to shut people up that uses identity politics. So I'm like, wow, if I wasn't smart enough, I might believe that. That might sound good. If I felt all my life that I had been disenfranchised and been told that you'll never amount to anything because this big white boogeyman is out there trying to stop you and hold you down because you're brown, and they're footing your back because you're black. If I've been hearing that all my life, what she just said might make sense. But that is only to the untrained ear. To the trained ear, what she's doing is hitting y'all with the reverse mind trick, the Jedi mind trick. She's redefining the whole definition of identity politics. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to take a negative term and accuse you of attacking me or attacking the term based on your hatred and desire to shut down the term. It's basically saying that, hey, nothing is wrong with identity politics. It is a useful tool to help people that are victims. And by you saying that it is destructive, you're really a racist and you're trying to shut the mouths of all of these victims. You're trying to actually keep these people in some type of victim state, bondage, persecution, discrimination, whether they be gay, lesbian, and whatever else. Now, if the use of identity politics was tempered, and if it was used not to promote division in our country, but actually to focus on real problems that might be perpetrated based off of a group of people or something like that, real problems, not ones you allowed to happen or made up or keep telling somebody this is the problem. Like, for example, during the civil rights movement, it was very obvious that black people were being targeted and they were also being persecuted. They were being discriminated against. Okay, yes, that's the time where you say, hey, we got to step in and stop this from happening. But when you go so far up into 2018, where examples and cases of this are very, very, very few in between, all right, but yet you're making it seem like this stuff is still happening in full effect, like it was 1940 or something like that. Same thing with gay rights that have come very far, same thing with women's rights, all of that stuff, but yet you're still perpetrating it so that you can divide the country and keep them voting for you. Now, identity politics becomes a negative. It's being abused. Let me give you the example, Kamala. Let me break it down on a micro level. One thing we like about our president is he talks in terms that we can all understand. So we're not going to be confused by your trickery with your words. I'm going to break it down in a regular application. I'm sure when the gun was first invented, somebody said, look, Bobby, we can use this thing to go and hunt squirrels and rabbits and deer so we can feed our family. Then one day, Bobby said, hey, Earl, what do you think can happen if we shoot Jimmy with this thing here? Now, all of a sudden, they took something that was used positively and made it negatively. Okay? So now, the way that the Democrats and the media is using identity politics, they're using something that could have worked for a time period. Now they're using that for evil. They've taken the gun, instead of hunting rabbits and deer and squirrels, now they're hunting humans. So same thing. They took identity politics and they said, wow, we're going to take it totally out of context. We're not going to say, let's use this up to the point where the problem is addressed and solved. We're going to go ahead and keep this thing going. Because, see, here's the problem with that type of mentality. It will never stop. Once you create the victim mentality, you can always find a reason to say, we need more. Or there's still some type of discrimination there. Even if we can't identify it, we're sure that it's in your heart. Any situation that makes you feel bad on the inside, or you have to question, even if it's not blatant, even if we can't identify it, even if we can't prove it, we're still going to say that it's a result of some type of evil, racism, discrimination, and so on and so forth. Because if we start just judging individual cases by case, then you know what ends up happening is we lose all our voter base. You know, at this point, you guys are looking at yourselves as individuals and not big groups of sheep that have to do the same thing. And we need the sheep to all get herded down to the voting poll. So we need to make all the sheep think that the wolves are all out there trying to get you. Y'all got to stick together, okay? But in reality, we know the wolves are gone. The wolves are gone. You might come across a wolf every once in a while, but we're telling the sheep that they're surrounded by wolves all over the place. Sheep don't see them. They just believe you. The sheep like, man, I don't see nobody over there. I don't see no wolf. Shut up, you sheep. Stop looking. Just put your head down in the grass. Don't look around. That's what they do. So you take a lot of black people, and when one black person says, well, wait a minute, you saying that all this racism and stuff is going on, they're like, don't look over there. Stay focused. Huh? But I ain't seeing it like y'all. Keep over here. Stay focused. Stay in the sheep herd. Don't be looking around. Trust us. It's out there. Okay? And when one of the black people say, well, or any person in identity politics say, we're going to leave and get out of the flock, the left herds them back in almost at any cost, through shaming, through isolation, through name calling, through accusations, through undermining their influence, all of that stuff. Look at the guy who started the walk away movement, Brandon. This guy, now he was loved by the left when he was a gay liberal. Then he became a gay conservative and pointed out all of the identity politics they're using. And he couldn't even get served the next day, a couple of days later, when he went in to buy a camcorder and somebody recognized him. Yeah, I know who you are. We ain't serving you because you decided to walk away from the flock. So the identity politics keep everybody in the herd and keeps telling them, even though there's no wolves, we ain't seen none. Okay? And if there is, comes and goes every blue moon. But according to the sheep herders, which are the left, the liberal media, the Democrats, they're everywhere. So instead of you looking around for the sheep or for the wolves, just trust us. Keep your head down in the grass and we'll tell you when it's safe, okay? All right, but it'll never be safe. Because soon as you feel it's safe, all the sheep might just break off and go off on their own paths, okay? But they don't want that. They want to keep them together. And when voting time comes, they say, all right, yeah, go ahead now. Get on down there. Get on down there to the poll. All right? So, Kamala, nice try. I love the way she tried to flip it, okay? She tried to shift it in the brain like, evil is good. Because if you didn't know evil, then you couldn't know good. Therefore, evil must be good. Hit us with the Eddie Murphy, Vampire from Brooklyn. Nice try. All right, God bless you. You've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Find me on Facebook, Twitter. If you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, links in the bottom. And also, you can call in 7:30 Eastern time. If you want to talk to me live, we'll be doing a broadcast tomorrow at 7:30. The link will be in the bottom as well. God bless.